Hi, everyone. Linda Israel here. Thank you so much for being here during my live stream. I greatly appreciate your support. I've pre-recorded this so that we can have some of the behind the scenes done while you listen to me for just a moment. I again want to thank you so very much for being here during my live stream. If you could give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends so that they can come join us. And if you will also give me a comment in the comment section after this video is done, and then definitely speak up in the chat and say hi. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, generally, if you're on a computer, you can go down below and look for the little gear. You can change that and make the speed faster. If you're on a mobile device, look up in the corner, up in this area for 3 little dots, and you can change the speed there as well. Those of you that are here live, do definitely speak up in the chat. I greatly appreciate you being here. Well, those that are here live earn a virtual currency. Junkie Joe should be coming up here in just a moment, and you'll be able to check how many bucks that you have. What are bucks? They're junk bucks. It's just a virtual point system that I have created on my account when we're live so that you can redeem those once you get to 2,000 for a $10 off coupon to my shop. So you can type exclamation point bucks to see how many that you have. And if you have 2,000 and you're ready for a coupon code, type exclamation point award, and my official note takers will take down that information. Now, if you haven't already created an account on my website at lindaisrael.com, please do so, and then send me a message through the contact form letting me know what your YouTube username is. Why? So I'll have your email address and I can email you your coupon code. Also, if you make a donation throughout this live stream, you can be added to my YouTube donators membership that I have on my website. So again, create an account, say, hey, Linda, I donated, and tell me what your username is on YouTube if it's different. That way I can get you added to that. At the end of this stream, I will have journals made, and you will have the opportunity to win one of those journals. Throughout the live stream, we'll have some various raffles, and we also have in-chat games. So be looking out for that in the chat, and I'll kind of speak it up when I get to it. For example, if you type exclamation point raffle, right now you can be in a chance to win 200 junk bucks. So you'll be well on your way to getting 2,000 junk bucks. Normally, Robin is my official note taker. Sometimes Angelica is my official note taker. It kind of depends on what's going on. These are members and administrators of my Facebook group, the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. If you haven't joined that group, we'd love to have you come and join us over there. What else? Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. Hey, if you have a question, try to put it in all caps. That way I'll see it. If I don't see it, please don't be offended. The chat sometimes moves fast, and I'm usually looking down trying to create things. So please ask again. But if you know the answer that someone else's question, please go ahead and answer for them. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see, what else? Oh, if you have a YouTube channel, you can't post your link, but you can say, I have a YouTube channel, and tell us a little bit about it. Tell us your channel name, something like that. Tell us what you do. We're going to get started here in just a moment. I'm looking at the time. So roughly 5 minutes is when I'll get started. So it should be just a few more seconds. So definitely hang out in the chat, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here on this Monday, October the 18th. I hope you are well. And yes, Robin is very important. I'm blessed to have her, and I will miss her. She'll be gone for a couple of weeks. So I am looking for someone that is available that would be able to help me on October the 25th, and then the following Monday and Thursday, because Robin has another engagement. So yeah, if you're looking to give me some help in my live streams, let me know and I'll get you hooked up. The live chat is working, Julie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here. Woohoo! Margie just won a bunch of junk bucks. Well done, well done. So today I was going through my stash and I was finding odds and bits and pieces, and I thought it might be kind of fun to make some mini journals. A year ago, I did a tutorial where we made some mini journals. In fact, I think this may be one from that time. So I thought we would revisit how I put these together. And I'd also give you some ideas of taking book papers, book pages, and turning them into a piece of art that you can use in your journal. So we're going to start off with a book page, and I have some acrylic craft paint. This cheap acrylic craft paint. This is cream. It's by Anita's. And I'm going to spread just a little bit of that onto my book page. I'm doing that so that I can obscure the text on here. Hey, Diana. Thank you so much for being here. Julie, Margie, and who else? I saw Laura in here. Of course, Robin. I greatly appreciate y'all hanging out with me. So I'm just using like an old gift card, an old credit card. You know, you could take a piece of sturdy cardboard if you don't have those types of devices. And I'm just spreading the paint all over this piece of book page. Now, if you want it a little bit more obscure than the text is showing, so just add a little bit more paint. I like doing it with ivory if I plan to put other mediums on top, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you some different ways to colorize this paper. All right, so I've got that done. I'm just going to clean off my card and set it aside. I'll use my heat tool to dry this. Hey, Giovanna, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you, Jeanette. Thank you for being here. Hey, Bonnie, welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else am I missing in here? And, of course, Julie is here. So glad to have you, Julie. And I see Marcy. Hello, Marcy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And who else do I see in the chat? Sam. Hey, Sam and Laura. And do I see? I'm trying to scroll up here. Bonnie. I think I've got everybody that I've seen so far. Hey, Margie. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I'm going to do today is I plan to have, when we get done, 6 total journals. I haven't bound 4 of the journals, and I've got 2 journals that we're going to make today. So I'll have 6 total journals. I will give away 1 for free. That's a giving, and no donation required. Everybody will be eligible to win that 1 journal. But if I get to $60 today, I'll give away 6 journals. And again, regardless if you donated or not, everybody will be eligible to win 1 of those 6 journals at the end if we get there, okay? Romper room! All right, so I have painted that page. It's obscured the text a little bit. So what I'm going to do now, just so that I can show you different ways of using it, I'm going to fold this in half, wherever that center mark is, and I'll cut it in half. So basically, I'm using the same piece of paper to show you all these different ways we can do this. And I'm going to go ahead and basically fold that in half again, find wherever the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to be able to have smaller pieces to work with, okay? All right, so I've got 4 pieces of paper. Let's do 4 different techniques. The first technique, let's grab a couple of colors of Distress Oxide. So I'm going to just smush that across the page. I'm going to do a little bit. That was Dusty Concord, and this is Mermaid Lagoon. All right, so we've just added some color really fast to a piece of painted paper. And I'm looking for, I've got Dazzling Diamonds Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. Oh no, you painted your keyboard with gesso? Uh-oh. All right. Linda, you sound like a lady from the romper room. I see. All right, so I'm just going to spray this with the Tattered Angels. And because we're using Distress Oxide, that paint from the ink pad is going to move just a little bit. I'll use my heat tool to dry it. And you can tilt it. You can kind of make it flow a little more. If there's too much liquid and it's taking too long to dry, I can mop it up with a paper towel, just kind of grabbed a little bit so it'll be thinner. Oh, thank you, Robin, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Linda, welcome. Hey, Norma, so glad to have you here. All right, so I'm keeping my heat tool moving pretty quick as it dries. How is everybody? Did y'all have a good weekend? I had a busy weekend trying to get some new stamps added to my shop. And I've been working on some new stencil designs. I'm all geared up for Christmas. Next Monday, I will be making a journal with the new subscription box, which is Merry Little Christmas. Well, we're so glad to have you here, Sam. All right, so there it is. I painted that with acrylic paint and ivory. Then I used a Distress Oxide ink pad over the top of it. I'm going to wipe up in case there's anything wet on here. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to decorate this just a little bit more. And I can do this in a couple different ways. On this one, let's use rubber stamps. And what do I want to use? Oh, you know what? Let's use this little dragonfly. So I have this dragonfly. I can't remember if it's dragonfly number 2, but it's a dragonfly. And I've got jet black ink. And we're going to just stamp this. Let's go this way. I'm going to stamp it kind of randomly all over. So now I've just made patterned paper. Welcome to the beginning of the games. May the odds be forever in your favor. So there's one decorated page that I've made. Okay, pretty quick. All right, let's do the next one. So this one I've got here. Let's grab my little gift card again. And this time I want to add a couple of different colors of paint. So let's see. I've got a royal fuchsia. So I'll put just a drop or two, not very much. And I've got a little bit of light turquoise. I don't need a lot since I'm using such a small piece of paper. I'm going to use my card again. And this time I'm just going to smear it all over. And because I'm using those two colors, what happens is they blend and kind of give this pretty soft purple look to it. Okay? And I'll clean off my card. Clean up around here. So now I'm painting up a different piece of paper, and I'll dry it. Hey, Ruby, welcome, welcome, welcome. You love it? Thank you, Julie. So it's important to dry your papers before you go on to the next step, which may be stenciling, or it could be stamping, whatever it may be. You'll want to dry it so that your mediums don't mix. Dragonfly number 2. Thank you, Robin, for being spot on and grabbing those links. Hey, the Paper Diva. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so this time I've painted a piece of paper. It was ivory on the background. We mixed a couple of colors of paint, and we've got those little scrape marks on there. So this time, let's grab a stencil. How about the Diamonds with Flair stencil? And I'm trying to decide what I want to use. Let's see. I don't have my tub of water here, so I'm going to get out a couple of things so I can clean my stencil off when I get done. Okay. So I've got this little piece of paper and I want to put a pattern in the background. So I'm going to grab, I think I want some silver paint. So I've got some silver acrylic paint. And I'm going to put a little bit on top of the stencil here. And I'm going to use my same little gift card and kind of go over okay, I'm going to use my paper towel to wipe it. And I kind of went underneath it a little bit, but there's a little bit of texture there. But I'm going to go ahead and clean off my paper. I mean my stencil. I just have some thieves cleaner inside a spray bottle here. And I'm just wiping it across my stencil real fast. Normally I have a bucket of water to the side, but I didn't prepare for one today. All right, so there is with the diamonds on top of the painted paper. And I'll dry this. And just set it to the side. It'll take a little bit longer for it to dry, but you get the gist of that. All right, so we've still got 2 more pieces of paper here. I think this time I'm going to grab a paintbrush. I think I need to put more water in my paint cup. There's not much in there. I just spilled water all over me. All right, we got water in there. And let's get a couple of colors of Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. So I'm staying with that same color theme. So let's do something different. Maybe this green. What do I've got here? I've got fresh green. This is from the All About Robins kit. And maybe some Royal Peacock or another color would be Curious that would be close to that. So I'm going to spray this a couple of times with the different colors. And I'm going to use my paintbrush to kind of mix this together. And I'll clean off my paintbrush. So there's another background that I made. Let's dry it. You like that, Ashley? Thank you so much. So that was just mixing a green and a teal together. Trying to get it dry. Dry away. All right, so this time, let's grab a stencil. Let's do this one. This is from the October Stencil Club. And let's do the Salty Ocean Distress Oxide. I've got one of these blending tools, and we're going to go over that. So if you don't have scrapbook papers, you don't have a lot of that decorative paper in your stash, make your own with a few tools. What do you think? So that kind of makes a little pattern on there. But we can take this even further. So I'm going to grab my scrap of paper here. And I've got the French, I always get this wrong. It's either French correspondence, it's French script, one or the other. And I've got my jet black ink. And I'm just going to do it without a stamp block. So I'm just putting it on my fingers, and I'm just going to touch it across the page a few times to kind of give it a little patterning. Okay. Uh-oh, what you annoyed with at the moment? Is the computer not working the way you're supposed to for you? All right, so then let's see. We've painted it with acrylic paint. We've sprayed it with Tattered Angels. We've put Distress Oxide on there. This one is still a little damp, so we'll be careful with it. So now we've got these three little pieces. So what color can we do this one? Let's add, you know, I don't have any yellow out at the moment. And I was thinking maybe I should do something yellow because I haven't done one yet. I'm looking back here for my Tattered Angels. So this is from Garden Tea Party Sunny. Let's use that. So I'm going to spray this. And what else do I have here? I have an orange. Let's add a little bit of orange. Okay. This one is golden orange. All right, I like that. Kind of tilt it around to get it to run just a little bit. I like it. Let's try it. Increased volume in straw is probably because of our lockdowns and couldn't go to shop, so the amount of online shopping has skyrocketed. Oh my. More junk books for Margie. Oh my goodness. Margie's just getting after it, isn't she? Before they open back up again. Norella's here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I like the way that Tattered Angels kind of run sometimes. All right, there's a little bit more on there than I need, so I'm just going to sop that up a little bit. Just so it doesn't take so long to dry. Get rid of some of the things that I used and put them back where they belong. Back where you belong. All right. Back where it belongs. All right, so what can we put over the top of this one? It's not quite dry, but we're trying to hurry along here. We'll dry the papers a little bit more. I normally use my dauber to add paint, so scraping it with the card over the stencil, it kind of made it messy, but I like the way it looks. It's just kind of interesting. All right, so this time, let's see. I think this is from the Bombay set. I just like that little pattern. I thought it goes really well with this yellow. So I'm going to stamp it. My paper's curling up a little bit because it's still somewhat wet. I'll use the edge of my desk to curl it back the other way. So there is that piece. What do you think? Just adding a little pattern on top of it. Yeah, it's getting bad. I just got a notification from one of my vendors that prices are going up. So there will be a price change comes January on all my kits because of the price increase that's happening everywhere, it seems like. All right, so I'm going to use some Distress ink and go around the edges of these, and then we'll set them aside for a moment. And we're going to use these to make basically what I call a mixed media masher board. You could also call it Franken pages, where you just put random pieces of paper together on a large sheet. So that was using 4 different techniques of coloring the background and then making that into decorative papers. Yes, Bombay Travel Company said. Thank you, Robin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay, I missed you too, Narella. I know you've been busy. And again, I'm sorry for the loss of your mother. Sending you lots of love and hugs. All right, so I'm going to set these aside for a few minutes. I know I'm going to want a page made, so I'm going to do this. Flip this over. I've got my spray box here. I'm grabbing a page, and then I'm going to show you. I have this paper that's perforated. Now, if you don't have perforated paper like I do, you don't need it. You can use copy paper, and when I get to the next technique, you just cut it apart. But I'm going to set this aside here. I'm going to grab a stencil. How about, let's see here. This is from the November Stencil Club. It's got 2 different patterns on either side. And, you know, I didn't use much yellow, and I just put it up. Just grabbing a couple of colors. So this is like a sunny, could be, I don't know if I have just a standalone yellow, but this is from the Garden Tea Party, which I sold out of. But I need to use it. And this is rose gold. And I think just for grins, I'm going to add a little bit. This is limeade. It's a real pale green. Well, I think this bottle is about done. So let's grab fresh green. Just a couple of spritzes. And I'm going to use this piece. That's my perforated page. Perforated page. To go across the back. Now, if you want, you could spray the other side a little bit. I'll just add a little bit of, well, I keep grabbing that when I need to clean the sprayer out. So it just adds a subtle pattern to the page. Set that aside. And here's what it looks like through the stencil. I'll go ahead and spray the back side a little bit. And we'll set this aside to dry and move on to the next level that we're going to do. I'm trying to work fast here. That's not what I want. I want one of these. All right, so I just have a dictionary page here. Yeah, it's expensive with these shipping hikes that we've had. All right, so I have a bunch of papers that I've dug up out of my stash. These are painted papers. Of course, we have these papers that we just made today. Here's one where I scraped paint over a book page and then stamped it with the companion rose. I've got another page. This was just random paint pieces, and I did a butterfly over it. This one was sprayed with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists, and then I have this little round button stamp that I just stamped repeatedly. Here's a gel print, and here's another gel print. So I'm just kind of making a pile here. Here's another gel print where I was cleaning up my gel plate, and I've got another little piece here. Here's where I used my sponge dauber and went through the diamonds with flare stencil over a pink painted page. So using the sponge dauber and daubing it like this gives it that pretty pattern. Yeah, we've had a lot of staff shortages here too. It's crazy. Yeah, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. All right, so what I do next is I kind of look at all these pieces, and we're going to apply them to our page here. I may want to come off the page a little bit, and I've got this piece here. What else do we have? Here's another page that I painted. It was a book page that I painted. So what if we did that over here? Like that. And I've got this piece. So let's go over here. I've got a gel print. And it may not go across the page completely, but that's okay. I may even deliberately kind of position it. So what I'm doing now is just kind of figuring out where I want to put them all over the place, okay? Thank you, Sam. Yep, you'll eat less if you're not eating. You'll lose weight. Maybe if I go like that, and this piece will come down like that. And maybe we'll cut this piece to fit right there. I'm going to look to see if I have one already cut. I have this piece. Is that too small? It kind of fits in there. I think something like that would work. What do you think? All right, so what I'm going to do now is get rid of the extra pieces here. And we're going to glue these into place. So I'll just take all these extras. I've got a little Ziploc bag that I'll put them in. And let's adhere these down. So I've got my little glue pot, which is basically Aleene's tacky glue with water added to it. And I do that so that it's a little bit runnier. It's easier to decoupage. And I like the Aleene's tacky glue because it's inexpensive and it dries clear. Hello, Amanda. Welcome, welcome. No craft paint, so just use your bell gel prints like that, Linda. Yay! Yeah, the mosaic type look. Okay, so I'm going to start here and apply some glue onto my book page. It doesn't really matter. You could use your junk mail. I have an abundance of these book pages because I think this dictionary had like 2,000 pages or something. So that's why I'm using it. And I'll kind of come over. I don't want to go all the way to the edge, but like that. And then I want this piece to go below it, so I'm just going to add some more glue here. I'll add this pink. Kind of butt them up to each other. You can also overlap them if you want. Depends on the look you're wanting. Cheap chips. And then I think I want this piece to go down this edge. Oops. Got glue everywhere. I tipped my pot over. Don't tip your pot over. I'm using a Ken Oliver mixed media matte underneath here. And we're going to come over just a tad. Just smooth it out. And it is coming off the edge, but I'm okay with that. So this piece we're going to put right down in the middle. So I will add glue all the way down. I'll kind of use this I'll use it at the bottom here to kind of indicate, all right, so I want to go to about right there. What I like about this technique, it goes pretty fast. And, you know, this is a great way that if you do have scrapbook paper scraps or other mixed media gel prints and prints that you've made, you'll be able to come in here and then just glue them down and create your own little background papers. I am going to cut this into smaller pieces, so I'm not really worried about the direction of each piece, okay? I know I want this piece down here at the bottom to go all the way across, so I'm going to start down here and glue this piece next. Woolworths, we used to have a bunch of those here. We don't anymore. All right, so I'm going to come like this. What have y'all been working on this weekend? Like I said earlier, I've been adding some new rubber stamps to the shop, working on some new stencil designs. I have a new stencil I haven't even added to the shop yet. I don't know if you can see it with this behind it, but it's kind of like little stars, I guess you could say. And there's dots in between. Can y'all see that? I haven't given a name of it yet. Mixed media. I've been looking at the one. Okay, this one doesn't have any smell to it. Of course, I've had it for a really long time, but this mixed media mat by Ken Oliver didn't have any smell to it. You could also use the craft mat that's by Ranger Ink. And basically it is coated baker's. It's not parchment because it's fabric, but it's a baker's quality. You like that for, that's what I'm going to do, is it's going to be like Starbucks. If someone says like Starburst, I kind of thought it looked like, you've been working on Christmas, Norella says. I thought it kind of looked like a North Star. Different sizes. You like it? Thank you. All right, so then we're going to go this way. So this piece I want to put in here going up and down. Like so. We're going to go to the sewing machine here a little bit, but I have to make sure that my page is dry before we do that. All right, so this piece is going to fit right there. Perfect. Sometimes it just works out that that's the size of paper we get to use. Oops. A little extra glue there. And if there is a gap, you could always use some acrylic paint and fill the gap. All right, so then let's put this last piece on. And then we'll trim up the edges. I'll dry it with my heat tool. And then we're going to go over to the sewing machine in a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to clean up my glue pot. It oozed just a little bit. Don't need it oozing. Sewing cam. So I'll get that out. Little sewing cam, lamb. Sewing cam. Giovanna made that for me. Thank you so much, Giovanna. All right, let's put this one right here. All right, so now we've got all of our pieces here. Move it from the mat. Let's get rid of the mat. Set that aside. Then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to trim off all these excess pieces that we have here. All right, we're going to go to the sewing machine after I dry this. And what I'll do is I will stitch between the seams of the papers. So it kind of gives a whole nother look. Now you could use the Shabby Stitches stamp set. I can't see the end there, so maybe what I'll do is Let's do this edge first. Couldn't see the edge. It's different than living on the edge. All right, so now we've created some more little pieces. See, we'll put those back into the envelope, if you will, the baggie. All right, let's go across this way. I can barely see the edge, so just trimming off the excess. Okay. I like it. Do you love it? Do you want more of it? All right, let's dry this with our heat tool. All right, I'm liking it. So I'm trying to dry this so I can go over to the sewing machine in just a moment. I made some hot tea today in my mug, but it was so hot it burnt my tongue, so I had to go back and drop some ice cubes in it. It's not quite iced tea. I didn't put that many in it, but it sure cooled it off enough that it wasn't burning my tongue anymore. You don't want your paper to be wet when you go to the sewing machine because it will tear. You love it, Norella? All right, so we're going to go over to the sewing machine. So let me move my sewing cam. All right, can you see me all right? So we're going to go over here and we're going to sew in between all of these seams. I changed my camera angle, so hopefully you can see all right. I'm using a regular sewing machine. I have regular thread. I have it set on zigzag. It's set at 2.0 plus 2.0. And I've said this in other videos, but I'll continue to say this. If you have different settings on your machine for different types of stitches, then stitch them on like an index card and write how you got that setting so that when you get ready to sew again, if it's complicated, you know to click here, 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 or turn the dials here to get that setting. All right, so I'm just going to stitch across all the way down. All right, I'll lift up my presser foot and then I'll stitch in between up to that line. Stitching away. And we'll stitch all the way across this line. It kind of helps if you line them up, if you're stitching like this, so you don't have to start and stop as much. I'll move it over. Let's stitch right here. And let's see, we need to stitch this way. I like mixing the mixed media papers, the gel prints, and the stamped pages together. All right, let's go back to the desktop because I've stitched it. All right, are we back? All right, so I've stitched that piece. I'll get a couple things out of the way here. Need to close my paint up or I'll have a paint catastrophe. All right, so now what I'm going to do is trim it. Now, I happen to have some watercolor papers that are really thick. This is like chipboard thickness that was given to me from Canvas Corp Brands, and they were an odd shape. So I trim them down. Mine are approximately 4.5 inches by 6 inches. No, 5.75 inches tall. Now, if you don't have this thicker paper, you can always glue multiple pieces of paper together. You could use, for example, junk mail postcards. You could use cereal boxes. You could probably find one that's got a big enough front like this to be able to fold it, and then you can decoupage over the whole thing. So knowing that I have this piece, what I want to do is cut a piece of paper that's 4.25 by 5.5 inches out of here. So I'm going to look at this, and we're going to go 5.5 inches tall. Okay. And then I want to do 4.25. I'm kind of looking at this. Let me do this first. I think I'm going to go this way first. 4.25. I don't want that stitching so close. So that's why I'm trying to contemplate which way I want to do this. 4.25. All right, let's go back this way then. And then let's do 4.25. So we'll have that little sliver of a different color of paper. All right. Now, if I want, I could go ahead and cut this one up too. I may go ahead and do that just for the grins of it. I'm going to go from this way, 5.5. And I'll save this piece. I can use it later on. Rotate this around. Let's do 4.25. And I want to keep this little sliver, so I'm going to rotate this. No, I'm not. I'm just going to pull it across. I forgot. I don't have to rotate it. And then I have these two little pieces left over, and this one long piece that I had left over. That I'll use these two pieces right away. I found, where did they go? Here we go. I found these two cards, gray cards, in my stash. So let's apply some Distress inks around the edges. And we're going to go to the sewing machine again here in just a moment. So sewing lamb, because I'm going to sew these pieces onto the cards. And I'm also going to sew these pieces to the fronts of my journals. I'm ambidextrous, Julie. I use both hands. I kind of go back and forth. Uh-oh. I use my trimmer that way because when I use it this way, I can see the numbers closer to me. When they're up here, it's too far away from me to use the numbers. I like have them closer to me. So that's why I use it that way. My first trimmer, the way it was designed was for it to be down at the bottom, like I showed you. And when I got a replacement trimmer, I turned it the same way because I was used to doing it that way. That's the way I've always done it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Which of these do we want? And I also have some other images. Let me get those. So maybe these. Oh, let's do that. So I've got this piece that I thought would look really good. Let's glue these in place. That way they're ready to go. And they're going to go to the sewing machine. So even these little bitty pieces you can use. I'm going away from the edge just a smidge. And we'll do this one too. The sewing machine that I'm using is, okay, does that make sense now? The joy of bifocals, exactly. The sewing machine I have is a Brother Simplicity, and the number is SB3129. I purchased this new back in 15, I think it was. And I don't know that they have this model available. I went through a sewing machine vendor store that we have local to us. You have to lift your head up all the time. And I went in and I said, this is what I want my machine to be able to do. I want it to have an automatic threader. I want it to have zigzag and straight stitches. And this is what I came home with. All right, so I've got these pieces. I'm looking at this. These are some mixed media pages that Norella took of mine with my photographs that I took of my garden. And she made these really funky mixed media postcard size almost. They're pretty big, but I told my printer to print them as a 5x7 sheet of paper, and so it shrank them down, so it's kind of fun to have different ones. And I'm thinking maybe that would look good on there. I was trying to decide if I want to use one of these, or I could use this one. Okay, I think this one. I'm going to set these aside for another day. You will get used another day, my dear. And I'm going to grab a scrap of paper here. Maybe. I got things moved around. All right, grab this one. So I've got this piece. How about we paint this edge with some green paint? I know that sounds crazy, but I think it'll make it stand out. So I'm just going to shake this paint up. Thank you, Norella. Well, I got lucky with my pretty flowers that I could take some pictures of them. I took some pictures this year. I didn't post them online, but I did take a bunch of pictures this year. I need to get them online so I can make things out of them. All right, so I'm going to use that green. See how that green's going to stand out over that? I'll clean my brush off and close it. Now with this yellow, maybe we should do an orange behind there. I think that's what we should do. I've got one. Let's see how this looks. If we don't like it, you know what? Paper has two sides. So if you don't like it, you can always paint over it again or turn it over. So I'm just going to set this over here, get some of this orange. Let's see what the orange looks like. Paint the page. So if you don't have decorative papers like solid colors, make your own. You know, and a cheap set of acrylic paints are really inexpensive, or you can just pick your favorite colors. All right, so I'm going to dry these real fast. Oh, I got some orange on there. Oopsie. I was trying to wipe off some excess paint, and I picked up extra paint. All right, so I like that. So this piece would go behind here, and then onto there. What do you think? So let's apply some distress inks to the edges of these painted papers. Y'all, all paper is double-sided. It is. There are two sides to paper. You just have to choose which one you want to use. So if you've got ugly, ugly, ugly scrapbook paper, well, what's on the other side? Is it blank? Or maybe you just paint over the whole thing and not really worry about it. All right, so let's glue these together. Like so. And then looking at this, I think I want to put it where it's kind of more at the top here. Oh my gosh, again? Holy cow! Thank you, Julie. Margie is making a cleanup today on her junk books. All righty. Like so. I like that. All right, so we're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch around this outside edge in just a moment. We'll make another one here. Yes, if y'all make purchases through my website, definitely leave me some feedback on the product. You know, positive is best. And if you could do me another favor, if there's ever a product that you've purchased from my shop and you just loved what you got, please share it on your social media. Maybe grab that link and say, hey, I purchased this from Linda. I love to do this with it, or I made this with it, or whatever it may be. Please share it so other people find me. I need your help with that so that I can continue to do these live streams, because if I don't, then I'm going to have to get a job to pay my bills. All right, what do you think? Sewing cam. All right, so we're going to go to the sewing machine now. I'm going to get a drink and clean my hands off. My hands got dirty, so I'll just grab a towel real fast. I just put a little bit of that thieves cleaner and water on my hands. I don't always show you on camera what I'm doing, so I just kind of do a quick once over, and it may not be perfectly clean, but it's usually enough that it's not going to transfer to my project. So I can just wipe my hands up, and they're not perfectly clean, but they're a lot cleaner than they were. All right, let's do some sewing. Okay, so I've got this card that we're going to stitch on either side of this scrappy bit. Like so. That's a little close. I need to back up my camera a little bit. Where'd it go? There it is. Go on the other side. I think that strip is about a ½ inch, if it's even that much. It's much smaller than that maybe, but it just kind of makes a nice little touch. All right, so I'm going to stitch around this inside piece. Then we're going to glue it to our covers, and we'll stitch around the outside edge on our covers. So I'm letting you know what we're doing. Like that. All right, let's do one more. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. All right, if you haven't already gotten in on the raffle, type !raffle. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down to the covers, and that way I can just continue on sewing here instead of going back and forth with the camera a few times. So I'm just putting glue on the back side of our little Franken page that we made, and I'll glue that down. And we'll sew that in a moment, and I'll go ahead and do the other one so that the glue can be drying a little bit. I don't go all the way to the edge, that way I don't have to worry about it getting in my needle on my sewing machine. I just want enough glue to help hold it into place. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around this outside edge. Now this paper is thicker, so I'll need to take my time so that I don't break a needle. But it usually works pretty well. And when I get to the end, I'll just raise my presser foot and swing this around and keep stitching. Stitching away, stitching away. Kind of see we stitched that one. Let's do one more, and then we'll come back and we'll start putting these journals together. Going a little bit slower because it's thicker paper. We're getting there. Steady and slowly and steady. Slowly and steady and surely. That's what we're trying to get. Funny. All right, so there we go. You're hypnotized by the sewing machine. Hypnotized by the sewing machine. So that's what it looks like with the stitching. And then here's our journal cards that I made, that we can add additional sentiments on them. I made some more earlier. So there's a couple others that I made earlier. All right. Y'all enter the raffle. We're going to pick the winner here in just a moment. All right, so we got that. I've got a couple of journal pages to make here. So this, I took some of Norella's digital prints, different ones. This is from Her Allure. This is from All About Robin. This is from the Apothecary set. And I think this is from Charming Forest. And I printed what would normally be an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper image on as a 5 by 7. So I ended up with 2 pages per an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And then I used my ruler and then just tore the edges. And I thought, just for fun, we'll just glue these onto, it's a book page. It's a kind of a glossy book page out of a gardening book, I think. Okay. It's hypnotized. So this is a great way, again, if you want to have pretty images. Oh, thank you so much, Nadine, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But you also have a lot of junk. Well, you can split them up and make different pages out of them. Okay. Thank you so very much for your donation. I greatly appreciate it. I picked pages that had writing space in them a little bit because of the fact that this book page doesn't really have writing space, but because I added the digital image on top. Well, I work with them so much, Norella, that I kind of know them. Plus, it helps that I printed this just before the live stream, so I think I printed them yesterday, but it kind of helps when I print them, and I recognize the patterns. I think it's fun that I can mix them all together. All right, y'all entered in the raffle. We're going to pick a winner of 200 junk bucks. You can use that toward purchases in my shop. So there's a quick journal page. Still haven't mastered getting gold prints from your printer, which is why I haven't do any of the journals. Okay, cool. Well, gold is a little difficult. It looks more yellow. All right, so set that aside for a moment to dry. Okay. Okay, so let's do the giveaway for 200 junk bucks. And that winner is Jeanette Wild. Congratulations, Jeanette. You won 200 junk bucks. All right, so we're going to reset this. And we're going to do 4 journal cards. Gray with... There we go. Open. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. All right, so we're going to give these away. Why not? I just made them. So I've got these 4 little journal cards. You can add even more onto this. So just because I didn't add a sentiment or a rubber stamp on top of that, know that you can add one more element to this. So this is alterable by you. So that'll be our giveaway. All right, so I took a book page and trimmed it down to fit inside my journal by cutting it in half pretty much. Oh, thank you, Jennifer, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I took a gel print. So in this case, it was a gel print on a book page. And I just cut it to be 4-inch strip and folded it and then glued it on the edges here. So we have a pocket. And this was a leftover scrap that was laying on my desk, and I happen to have 6 of them, so that went in there. But I want some other stuff to go in here. I've got a couple of journal cards. These were leftover bits that were on my desk. And I've got a rubber stamp here. So this is from the Floral Cube. I think it's called Floral Cube. So I'm going to stamp that. I've got Archival Inkjet Black. So I'm going to stamp it across this corner and across that corner. So it just kind of gives a little pattern on the top there. And if you wanted, you could go back in and add even more embellishing by stenciling over that, but I just wanted to add that. And these are going to go right here and here. Okay. So for here, I decided that I would want something that could go in that pocket. So remember earlier that perforated paper that I had? This is not it. This is the perforated paper. So it's perforated to where it's pretty much in half, and then it's still damp, so it doesn't want to fold. It will go down into 8 pieces. Okay. So you can take a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and cut it in half. Cut it in half and cut it in half, and you'll end up with a lot smaller pieces. And that's what I did here, but I mixed them all up. So I've got several different ones here. And then I took a piece of cardstock and cut it the same width because we're using the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I think it ends up being like 2 3/4 of an inch by 8.5 inches, and I fold that in half. So I went around the edge with some distress ink. This is another one of my mixed media papers that I showed y'all earlier, And I thought it would be pretty to glue on here. And we're going to go back to the sewing machine here just a moment after I glue this down. So I'm putting a little bit of glue right in the middle. Okay. So we're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to do two things. First, I'm going to stitch around this outside edge. Then I'll take these papers and I will stack them all together in here and use my giant paper clip to hold it together. And I'll stitch right across here. If you don't have a sewing machine, just put a small bead of glue, just one bead on each piece, and that will glue it into place. But let's go ahead and stitch around this outside edge. Another sewing lamb. I know, it's just full of sewing today, aren't I? I have a paper punch on the floor, and that was trying to be my pedal, but that wasn't going to work. All right, so we're going to stitch around here. And rotate and stitch. Now I use cardstock, but if you don't have cardstock, then look at your junk mail and see what you have there. Maybe even just gluing multiple pieces of paper together will get a thick enough piece of paper to make it think that it is cardstock without it being cardstock. All right, so I'm going to take these pieces and line them up. I want to make sure that my cover will close. Okay. And I'm just going to stitch right across the top here. I need to move my camera again. I think it needs to go back further. All right, so that's stitched. And that's stitched across there, and that was stitched on there. And then Norella has these beautiful butterfly, I think they're 1.5 inch square, something like that. There's a whole set of them. And when I printed this set, it cut off the edge. So what I ended up doing is just tearing that edge where it messed up. And I thought it just works out to be a perfect little image to pop on the front of there. Yeah, exactly, Laura. Junk mail, I mean, you can really just cover it with other pieces of paper like I showed today. Yes, my cardstock doesn't have anything on here, but you can continue to put another gel print or mixed media page, cover the whole thing, do the same technique that I showed for the front covers, but just do the whole thing. All right, so that's glued together. And that's going to go in here. So there's a page. All right, so there's my pages made. Let me get a few things out of the way. So I'll kind of show y'all. This was a page that was really simple to make. And I've got more pages here, so I'm going to get them all organized for putting this journal together. So I've got this page that I made earlier using the Flittering Gems kit, the Apothecary kit. This is from Norella's Wildflowers kit. That's all about robins. I need to, it's curling on me. All right, so I'll put those there. That's going to be my first pages. And then I have some notebook paper that I just cut down. So that'll go next. I have a plethora of different color pieces of copy paper. So I'm just trying to use up these random colors that I have. This is from a book. So I found this. It's called Jesus Calling, Enjoying Peace in His Presence. And it is a calendar that every day has, you know, when you're supposed to read the journal entry, the prayer, or I can't get my words out, scripture, okay? And I just cut off the top and the bottom to remove the page numbers and to remove the date. And I thought those would just be great little additions to the journal. This is some really large graph paper that I had in my stash. This is where that scrap of purple came from earlier. I have some pages that I cut long ways, and I decided, well, I'll use some of those as journal pages. You know that perforated paper that I showed you a while ago? Well, I used those, and I used the Celebrating Borders. This is one of 4 stamps. This is kind of like a little starburst around that outside edge. So it has decoration and gives you some writing space. And here's some more of this copy paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm missing papers. Oh yeah, I need to do this one. So what I'm going to do is cut it in half at 5.5 inches. And then I need to fold it in half. And then I need to look to see what other page I am missing, because I think I'm missing a page. So I'll fold this in half. And this is going to become one of my pages. Oh, well, hey, Sophia, so glad you're here. Oh, thank you, Amanda Dawn, for your donation of $4.44. All right, let me look at my sample here. Oh, I did use one more. Okay, there it is. I had some more of this paper here. Okay. So, I think I had 11 pages if I counted right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, good. I did. So I just kind of lay them out there, and then I'll pick up a cover. And I decided that I want the one with the Calico Collage image first. And then I'll do my book page. And I'll just line these all up, one on top of the other. Margie is rich! So it kind of gives that true eclectic feel. So grab those random papers that you have and make your own little mini journals. These would be perfect gifts for Christmas. People were saying that it's going to be hard to get your hands on stuff for Christmas. Well, you know what? Make things out of your own stash of things that you have, and then you don't have to worry about long lines at the mall, or if they even have a product on the shelf and the exorbitant amount of price they're going to charge for it. You love making pattern paper and ways to use the Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. Yay! Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like the live with all the different ways to use the Tattered Angels. All right, so we're going to put that right here. So there's, you know, more than one way to use all this stuff. I just showed you a couple of ways, and I encourage you to experiment. You know, if you come up with an idea that I haven't shared, take some pictures of it and say, hey, Linda, I did this today with this and this. And I'll be like, cool. Maybe I'll even do it. Yeah, printers can be finicky. I paid a pretty penny for my printer. It's normally about a almost $400 printer, but I got it on sale for like $250. and it does photo quality of printing. I just realized my camera was way up high. So when you're looking at a new printer, I highly recommend that you get one that touts that it prints photographs really well, because that's pretty much the quality of the digital images that you'll be printing. I just use matte paper instead of photo paper, so that costs a little bit less. Okay. Yeah, I see that. I bumped it. I fixed it. You just bothered the gnome stamps. So those are new. I just added them to the shop this past weekend. And I have a Hewlett-Packard printer. That's what I use. All right, so we're going to bind these together. I'm going to grab my paper clips to bind them. My glasses feel tight today. And I have somewhere a little template. Oh, good, it's in here. I make these a lot, so I always save the little template. And I've got to order some more wax linen thread. I'm almost out. Not quite yet, but I'm almost there. All right, so I'm going to take my little template. Basically what I do is I take a piece of paper, the height of my journal, fold it in half, so that's my center, and then about an inch from each edge, I will put a hole. And if you have it folded in half and you do it at once, then you'll have it exactly on both sides. All right, so I'm just going to poke 3 holes. This is for a pamphlet stitch. You could also sew down the center spine on your sewing machine. Just make sure you lengthen your stitch length so that it doesn't just perforate your paper and it tears apart. We're going to cut 3 times the height of our journal in thread. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to double it since I know I have at least 2 journals. I technically have 6 journals here to bind. So what I'll do is I'll show y'all the covers of the other journals after I get these 2 bound. And I'll kind of talk about how I did it. Okay. Oh, I just pulled it all the way through. I wasn't paying attention. I looked up to read the screen. You love one of those tank ones? Yeah, see, I like the HP Envy printer. It's a quality printer. They have the instant ink program for like, I think I pay $12 a month, $11.99, and I can print 300 prints, and they send me cartridges. Now, I kind of did a test on my own. How many cartridges did I go through? And I went through more cartridges in a month than my monthly fee was. And the cost of cartridges was crazy, like $40-something for the cartridges. So for me, it was just a no-brainer for as much as I print to go with the instant ink program. I know a lot of people use the Echo tanks and love those. So it just kind of depends on what you like and what's convenient to you. All right, so I'm just doing a pamphlet stitch, so making sure that this is tight on the outside. And I'm going to do a square knot and tie this off. 1, 2. And I'll leave the tails a little long in case we want to put charms on it later on. Thank you, Janice, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so there is one journal. I'll kind of sit on it for a moment, just flatten it out. We'll grab the next one. Put some paper clips on here to help hold the papers in place. And let's do our template. Poke some holes. I think we have time that I may be able to bind these other journals as well, just so that I have them done. Alrighty, and Monday, I will be showing the Merry Little Christmas set. In fact, while y'all are chatting, you can look at a couple of pieces. So that's the cover that will be in the subscription box. And then that's the inside cover. I'm just going to kind of stitch and flip. How's that? Stitch and flip. What? Then that's some of the fussy cut elements that are in the subscription box. Remember, the subscription box comes with a printed journal kit, 2 stencils with 3 different patterns. You're also going to get a bottle of Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists that coordinates with the kit. There's another bit. Oh, and by the way, I did a tutorial, I've already got it recorded, on how to put this envelope together and then have it tie shut like a I forgot the name of the envelope. It's like a coin envelope, but there's another envelope that has the little ties on there. And then this is a little folio that goes inside. Got some more fussy cuts, another gnome, and a nutcracker. Here's some more fussy cuts. This is a layered pocket. All right, so all of these are put together. So I'm going to tie this shut. The gnomes are pretty cute, aren't they? I like how the gnomes turned out. I like this nutcracker too. Norella did good. And here's one of the pages. There's the next journal. All right. And then here's the next page. It's got the little gnome on top of the gifts and the poinsettias. I wanted poinsettias. Here's like a plain journal page, but it's got the plaid kind of in it. I love this little robin. Some sheet music in the background. This is one of my stencil designs that will come in the kit that Norella used in the background. And then these elements. I love this background. I want more of this background, Norella. maybe I need an add-on of some background papers. And I love the little stars. In fact, I made a chipboard element piece that will go with that. I have it. Do I have it here? Nope, this isn't the kit. That'll go with it. Thank you, Barb, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then this side, I made a rubber stamp that matches this Christmas that Norella used. It's smaller, but I think you'll like it. And I love the fireplace. This could be printed if you have the digital download, which will be available October the 25th, as a cover. Wouldn't that be a pretty cover on a journal? You could also cut this piece, and that could be the cover of a journal. All right, I'm going to go ahead, and I've got a couple more of these journals here that I want to bind together, and I'll show you the fronts of them. I think I have enough here. Let's see, 1, 2, yeah, just enough. Get my template. I did the pages the same. They each have a pocket in the center and have the same little journal cards in the pockets and the little flip notepad. Again, I think this is a perfect size for someone to give as a gift. You can pop it in your pocket. Yes, Barb, that's what I asked Norella to do. I said, I picked out some designs that I loved, and I was like, okay, I like these designs. Can we use them together? And then I want it, of course, to be different, but it will blend with the Christmas dream. So if you got last year's kit, then you can definitely blend these together. I sold out of the subscription kits for A Christmas Dream. I have since added the chipboard pieces that were in A Christmas Dream to my shop. I've also added the stencils that went to A Christmas Dream to my shop. That means you can get the stencils and you can get the chipboard pieces that were used, and you can order the digital subscription for A Christmas Dream and be able to make predominantly the same designs that I show in my live streams last year. So here's another journal cover. I kept this one simple. We could add a word sentiment on there, but I think I'm going to leave it off today. I know I said I was going to use it in my opening, but... So I got another one of these. We're going to cut some thread. I got 3 left. So 1, 2, 3. Let's double that. Add just a smidge extra. Put that away. And I save my little scraps. Depends on how big they are. If they're longer, it's better, because I can use those. And I don't think I didn't punch the holes yet. I was getting my thread. I got ahead of myself. You think you'd have it all, Barb? Yeah, I think you do too. Yeah, such a warm feeling with the fireplace for sure. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else? I've added a bunch of new rubber stamps. I've got a tutorial that I've already recorded. I'm working on a couple of more. Henry cut my new Christmas stamps that I'm going to use yesterday. Yeah, I'll have a digital available, so you can get a digital subscription of all of the digital files. Thank you so much, Laura, for your donation that go with the Merry Little Christmas, and that's $24.99. So all it costs you is that fee right there. And when I have the renewal, you get to pick the next renewal or cancel. Okay. Uh-oh, Jeanette. Well, thank you for being here, Jeanette. I greatly appreciate your support. Stick around just a little bit longer if you can. We're going to give away some of these journals here at the end, I think. Did we make it to our goal? Alright, so then I'll cut that. And that's what the cover of this one looked like. Alright. So, yeah, everything in there. Yeah, the Christmas Dream sold out, but the Merry Little Christmas will be in my shop on October the 25th. I got 2 more journals to bind, and then we'll flip through them all. I'll pick the winner of the journal cards. I don't know if we made our donation. Oh, we see it? Okay, good. So we've got 40, 50. Okay, we're really close if we're not. Okay. Alrighty. I'm just checking. If there's a design of a rubber stamp that you would like to see me add to my shop, just let me know. If I can create it, or if I can... Okay, I show that we're not quite to $60. We had Laura at $2. We had Margie at $20. We had Barb at $3. We had Janice at $3. We had Amanda Dawn at $4.44. We had the Mrs. Edmondson at $5. We had Nadine Wheeler at $5. We had Robin at $2. And we had Margie at $20. Thank you all for your donations today. I will be giving away one of these journals for sure at the end. And if we calculate the numbers, my goal was to get to $60 today, and I would give away 6 journals during our live stream today. All right, trim it off. Pull the paper clips and put them away. So here's the next journal cover. I just did the same techniques in the background. All right. This one is a little bit fancier because I was playing around with my scraps. Whew, I'm almost stabbed myself. You always want to make sure your papers are V'd up when you punch your holes, not flat. So then your papers nest together better. All right, we're going to start in the center. Pull it around. Thank you so much, Norella. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is something you can make, Norella. You could even sit down with the boys and pick some manly colors, and they can make little journals to give their friends for Christmas. And what you could do when you go to give it to someone is on the front inside cover, write something nice about your friend. You know, maybe something that you feel they do really well, and give them a compliment. Maybe they could use this journal for writing down things that they love about themselves. All right, so this journal is fancier because I layered another little piece on here. Okay. Oh, so you want to see? You want to show? Well, you know what? You can post a picture in the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. And see, and I come up with some cool ideas. All right, so here are the journals that I made today. So I'll kind of lay those all out where you can see them. Thank you, Raven, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know mine are all girly that I made today, but you could use some browns and colors that the boys like and choose some more manly images to print, or even just do sentiments, do sayings on the fronts of those. What do you think of those? Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick the winner of the, oh, cool, of the journal cards. So if you haven't already entered the raffle, go ahead and enter it now for these 4 journal cards. Thank you so much, Giovanna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Norma. Thank you so much. Isn't that something you could do pretty quickly? I mean, I made 2 journals. Of course, I already had the papers cut, but if you do a bunch of them like I did today, you know, that main piece of paper that I made for the fronts made 4 journals. And generally, when I print these little cards from Norella, there's usually anywhere between 3 to 6, maybe even 8 on a page. Just kind of depends on the size of them. Yeah, Ruby, and you know, that's just it. Don't do this and become frantic and mad and frustrated because it's not coming together. Do it where you're playing with colors that you enjoy. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Use colors that you enjoy, that are appealing to you. Use the supplies you have. Yes, I showed you a bunch of things that I offer for sale. And if you want to support me, please do so. Check the links below. Check the links that Robin shared today during the live stream. And buy from me by all means, because it helps me continue to show you ideas of how to do this stuff. Okay? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Diane. I'll take a look. Alrighty. So let's pick the winner. Y'all in the raffle? Let me a drink of water. And then I think we've got it. I don't have a calculator. I have to calculate. I have to put it all together. I think we made it to our goal. Y'all get in the raffle. So 2 plus 2 plus 20 plus 3 plus 4.44 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 20 equals. That did not turn out right. 2 plus 2 plus 20 plus 3 plus 4.44 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 20 equals. All right, we made it. We're at 63.44. All right, so we're going to do it. All right, so we're going to give away the journal cards right now. The winner of the journal cards is Bonnie Lipke. Congratulations, Bonnie. You won these 4 little journal cards. I know they're not fancy, but hey, it's something. It cost me money to send them to y'all. All right, let's reset and go here. And then this is going to be, we're going to give away 6. So 1 mini mixed media journal. This is everybody's eligible to get in on this raffle today. I didn't want to only limit it to those that have donated. So everybody can get in on this raffle right now. So enter !raffle. And then what we're going to do is just kind of go over what I did on these journals. And I hope you like them. In fact, I've got a 7th one here, but we're only going to give away 6 today. I want to keep 1. So this is one that I made on a different live stream a while back, but it's the same concept. I used the Franken pages in the background. This one's a little bit different as far as the inside. I didn't use any of the digital pages, and I didn't put anything in the pocket. So I'll set that aside. That won't be included today. This one, I did the same collage patterning, and I ended up with this little trim. This is trim I picked up a long time ago at Hobby Lobby that has this little decorative edge to it, and it's like 3 yards for $3.99. I know I've got it for half price. Thank you so much, Norella. So when you open it up, this was a book page behind there that I just added the digital image on top of. Notebook paper, copy paper, the book page with the Bible verses on it. And here is some graph paper. This purple paper. It's funny, I had the purple in here twice. And then this is the stamped stenciled paper over a piece of book page. Hey, Tanya, we're just now finishing up. We're just now finishing up. We're going to give away these mini journals. And then this was stenciled paper that was using the November Stencil Club and Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. And some more just copy paper. Here I used the floral cube across the top of a card. This is a gel print that I folded. It was a 4-inch wide strip, the length of my page, and I folded it in half and then just glued it down. Oh, thank you, Tanya, for your donation. Get in on the raffle. And this was just a scrap of this purple paper because it was too long. I could have made it fold over, but I cut it off. So I had that. And then here is a little, I call it like a matchbook, except it doesn't have the little piece at the bottom to tuck it in. But this flips up. Okay. So this was a mixed media page that I created with some acrylic paint and a stencil. And this is one of Norella's images. And then you flip this up, and I have this perforated paper that I used to make several different journal pages here. Oh, thank you, Liz. What is it? Is it Elise? I'm not sure if that's at 2 L's. Is it Liz or Elise? And it may be something completely different because of wherever you're from. So thank you so much for your donation. And then you can write on the back. You can write on the back here, whatever you want to do. You like to watch it while you're crafting. And then on this side is another one of the stamped cards. Here I just use the copy paper. You can see the other side as we go back the other direction. And I like changing the prints on here every so often. I didn't think it needs to have a lot of stuff on all the pages. It is a mini, but you could spend the same amount of time decorating those inner pages if that makes you happy. You know what I didn't do yet is stamp these, so let's stamp them. I've got this journal made by Linda Israel. And I will stamp that inside here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's make sure I got it right side up. And stamp. So this journal made by, I'm going to do that on all of these and then I can sign them. Oh, thank you, Linda, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, Giovanna, you've collected a few bucks. You've collected a few bucks, lady. This journal made by... Okay, getting them all stamped, and then I'll come back and sign each one. Did I just get ink on there? Okay, got lucky. I got lucky. Okay. Put this away. And let me grab my pen. And we'll put 10, 18, right? Yeah, 20, 21. My mother always said my signature needed to be better because she thought it would be easy for someone to copy it. So, Mom, if you make it too neat, they can for sure copy it. I think I was meant to be a doctor in my other life because of my handwriting. Oh, thank you, Linda. You've earned your coupon code. I'll get that sent out to you probably tomorrow as I'm working on my computer stuffs. Alrighty. All right, we got them all signed. Put my pen away. All right, so that was this one. And here's the next one. That's the inside page. That page. Same concept here, just a different gel print. Different flittering gems and charming forest, wildflowers, and her allure. So what I'm going to do here in a moment, we're going to start naming who the winners are. And what you'll do is shout out which cover that you like the most. And that's the journal you'll get. And then I'll call the next person. We're going to give away 6 of them. These are Morning Glories on the front. That's from Her Allure. And that's from Charming Forest. So there's the center gel print. And that was from Flittering Gems. And that is from the Apothecary Kit. Got fingerprints on it. I think all the covers are different enough that you'll be able to speak up and say you want the orange zinnia, you want the magnolias, I think that's magnolias, the yellow rose, the blue morning glories, the desert something. Is it desert? It's not desert rose, but it's desert something on that one. Apothecary and All About Robins. This is the center. I love this blue butterfly. Over here we've got Charming Forest and Her Allure. And then this is the lily. It's kind of a peach color lily, but Norella did the yellow behind it. And these are my mixed media pieces that she used. The Yellow Rose of Texas, Tanya says. Go wash your hands in some Dawn. So that's from the All About Robins kit. That's from the Glittering Gems kit. We go to the center. There's the gel print, the pretty blue butterfly. And on this side is the Apothecary and the Wildflowers journal kit. All right. Y'all see that? So when I call your name, you want the yellow rose, Norella says. Well, get in the raffle if you haven't already. Everybody's eligible. I'm going to drink. And then what you'll do when I call your name, tell me which one you want. Nadine, she wants to know something. be able to, yes, if you need to pause your subscription to pick it up later on, just let me know. Okay. The November Stencil Club, these are the stencils that will come in that kit. But you got to let me know before your payment, because I cannot refund after your payment's gone through. So just let me know beforehand and I can stop it or change the date if you want to go on a different date. Okay. Is everybody in the raffle? All right, I see a bunch of names in the raffle. I'm getting just a little bit longer for everybody to get in. Again, I will be back on Monday. I will be working with the Merry Little Christmas kit. That'll be a subscription box offered in my shop starting on Monday, October the 25th. I love this patterning. And I will show, I'll have a flip through video of the kits, the printed kits, the paint and the stencils that'll be available for this kit. Then I'll have a couple of tutorials coming out. I got hair across my eye. Kind of showing you some of the stuff. For example, like the chipboard pieces, because sometimes I don't have a lot of time during the live stream to show you the chipboard pieces. So I'm going to try to do a couple of videos outside of those. That way I can focus on that a little bit and give you some ideas on using that. Okay. Did you see it, Tanya? We got Merry Little Christmas. That's going to be the cover. These are some of the pages. I'll flip through it again really fast. Get you inspired. This is the stencil pattern that'll come in the kit that Norella used in making the digital. I like this ledger paper. You can get this as a physical kit or a digital kit. In the physical kit, you're going to get Tattered Angels Glimmer Mists. You're going to get stencils. You'll get some ephemera pieces out of book pages that you can use for your journal papers. You'll get some copy weight paper, some cardstock. This time I'm going to put in some white cardstock, linen cardstock. I've got some envelopes, and it will have some fabric strips and fibers and charms and sequins and beads and brads, little mini brads and little photo turns. I think they're called photo turns. It's a little lever that you can turn and put on there. So it's going to be a lot of fun, okay? Alrighty, let's pick a winner. The first winner is, we're going to have 6 total. So the first winner is Robin. Robin, you won. Which journal do you want, little lady? I'm going to get a pen here so I can write everybody's name down. Robin, which one do you want? Yay! All right, here we go. Which one is going to Robin? She wants the Morning Glory. Okay, perfect. Just like that. See? It's gone. Boom. All right, let's pick the next winner. The next winner is Bonnie. Bonnie Lipke. B-O-N-N-I-E. Bonnie. Bonnie, which one would you like? Congratulations. All right, so here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Which one? Which one? Why not Bonnie? The Xenia. All right, she wants the Xenia. So Bonnie. All right, next winner. That winner is Nadine. Nadine, which one would you like? So we've got the desert flower, desert rose, the magnolia, the yellow rose, or the lily. So which one is it? Which one do you want? And congratulations, everybody, to the winners. I thought y'all might enjoy this today, so that's why I did it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this live, that You're inspired to create. Have fun creating. Don't get stressed about it. You know, just grab a few supplies, slap some paint on some paper, and see what happens. And if you make a mess, you make a mess. And if you don't like it, it's just a piece of paper. All right, Nadine's got the lily. All right, let's pick the next winner. All righty, and that winner is Tanya. All right, Tanya. Yellow rose, desert flowers, magnolia. Hey, and if you are struggling right now, it's a little bit depressing in the world at the moment, reach out to a friend near you and get on the phone with someone if you don't have anybody nearby. If you don't have ability to do phone calls because of the cost, but maybe you have Facebook, go through Facebook Messenger and FaceTime someone. That would be the best even, because then you could see each other's faces and just kind of talk and chat and tell them what's going on with you and do something together, even if it's over the phone. I know a couple of my friends that FaceTime each other and they craft while they FaceTime. So set up your phone or your camera on your iPad or computer if you can, and craft along with somebody else. Okay? All right, Tanya wants the yellow rose. Sorry, Narella, you didn't get the yellow rose. All right, last winner. Yes, yellow rose, since you said yellow rose of Texas. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's pick a winner. The Mrs. Edmondson, who is Jennifer. Congratulations, Jennifer. All right, which one you want? Do you want the, I don't know if that's a rose or a magnolia. Actually, it might be a rose. And that's the desert flower. It's from my yard. So which one would you like? Okay. Sweet. All righty. Well, this week I'll be working on a few things. If I get inspired, I might go live on Facebook. I was going to do it yesterday, but then I wasn't quite ready to do it. So maybe this week I will do a live stream random, or I may do it here on YouTube. I haven't decided yet. All righty. The pink and blue one. So this one. All right. This goes to Jennifer. I'm guessing that's right because it's got pink on it. All right. The last winner. This will be easy. You don't get a choice. The last winner is Barb Dingwell. Congratulations, Barb. Guess what you get? You get this journal. All right. Congratulations to our winners. These were the journal cards that I made today. And then, of course, we made all these journals. So I've got everybody's name in them now. So we get to the right person. I hope y'all had fun today, that you got inspired to create. This is the one you wanted anyway. Well, perfect, Barb. You see all the things that I made today. Christmas in October, exactly. Shake time choosing, Barb. Oh, dear. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I'm going to get off a little bit earlier today. I decided to keep this one relatively short because next week's going to be busy doing the Christmas kit. I have a lot to show you. So you get a reprieve today of a little bit shorter time. So next week, be prepared. Hey, and if any of you that are in my chat here would like to help out, be an admin during my live stream for the next 3 lives on YouTube, I'd greatly appreciate your help. Message me either through Facebook or through my website so we can chat and I can tell you what I need, because Robin's not going to be available and I need a helper, pretty please. All righty. And there might be something in it for you. You're very welcome, Giovanna. Thank you all for being here. And again, it just makes my day to be able to share with y'all. And that's it, that one. Y'all have an amazing weekend and week. Thank you so much, Narella. You too. We need to chat soon. Call me tomorrow. Alrighty, y'all. I'm going to get off here. I can give you notes if you volunteer, Robin says. You want the one that says beauty? Thank y'all so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. You're very welcome, Ruby. Thanks for being here. Alrighty. Bye-bye, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Have an amazing week and weekend. Come back on Monday. Also be checking for my tutorials that I'll be posting. So I've got the tutorial for the little folio piece, which is, I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek. This little piece, I'll show you how to add this portion on there. And then I've got a couple other tutorials on using stencils. Alrighty, y'all, thank you so much. I'm gonna type it out. If I can type it, type. I can't type. Thank you so very much. All right. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Lots of love to each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting me in live streaming. Y'all take care. Bye, everybody.